we have for you that exclusive interview with former Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Beatrice Mould Iddrisu, who has some reservations about the judiciary. She sat with, well, my colleague Beatrice Adu sat with her earlier today. Take a look.
I think that it's a growing public perception, and this perception has increased over the last 5 years, especially since the MPP have come into power, of that there's a certain bias against the NDC by the judiciary in general. Maybe because of some of the politicized nature of the cases that we've had over the last few years, and also some of the questions which have been raised in regard to some of the issues or some of the ways the issues have been handled by the topmost, senior-most officials in the judiciary. The judiciary is an independent arm of governance. It is the only arm of governance that provides a check on the legislature and on the executive. As such, whether we like it or not, all of us abide, by and large, with their dictates. It's been unfortunate that Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, has directly, I am told, has directly set, come out to set dates and to receive processes and things. And that is not fair, because it is undermining the work of the judicial officers. And it's undermining the work of the judiciary.
But it's her prerogative to set a date for cases.
It may be, but we question the selection of the cases in which she sets dates.
But is that not really how it would be, that obviously
it is not for the ordinary people?
Yes, but when you're not happy with a case, you will definitely agitate against it. If probably it was in your favor, you wouldn't be saying that the Chief Justice is being selective.
Oh, I don't think that it's a question of that. I think it's a question of the law and of our having the ability to interpret the law as we see, as we see it should be done, and as is the norm. Because with the law, if you go outside precedent, then you create these problems for yourself.
And you think that the CJ has gone outside of the precedents that have been set so far?
I think the whole of Ghana has seen that. So it's not me who is saying it in particular. It's not the NDC who is crying wolf in particular. People have sat up and said, oh, really? So this can happen.
But a lot of the criticisms have come from the NDC, and people will think that it is politics as usual, that when something doesn't go in your favor, then you cry wolf.
It shouldn't be politics as usual with the judiciary. This is what I'm saying. They have become increasingly, they've given the appearance of being politicized over the past 5 years.
You mentioned two important things, which is that increasingly that is the perception. And then you gave example that possibly it's because a number of the cases that have gone before the court have been more politicized. Aside from that, what do you think is contributing to this increasing perception?
I think that if you have read any public opinion poll over the last 4 or 5 years, you will find that I am not talking alone, or the NDC is not talking alone. They will tell you over 70 to 80% of Ghanaians are saying this, those that have been interviewed. I think the Afrobarometer and other, polls have been saying the same thing. So it's not NDC alone, it's Ghanaians who are becoming increasingly disappointed and losing confidence in the judiciary. Look, I was brought up in the era to believe in the total independence of the judiciary. As I'm entering my twilight years, or I have entered my twilight years, I am increasingly disappointed that what I learned in law school is not what is being practiced now. And I wonder at the quality of our lawyers who are coming out now, and how they are going to think, and how they are going to be, attuned to what the role of the judiciary
quality
really
of
is.
lawyers. So you think our fundamentals are wrong?
No, I believe I'm sorry that the lawyers coming out are going to believe that maybe this is the norm. You know, this is maybe what they are going to be taught.
This increasing perception you talk about, you don't think that the leader of the NDC has been contributing to it? The former president has huge following. He's been a president before. He's looking forward to winning 2024 general election. And persistently over the years, he's also criticized the judiciary and said that the judiciary has been politicized. You don't think that followers of John Mahama would believe what he says and take it hook, line, sinker, and that could be contributing to the increasing perception you talk about?
I think that it is not politics as usual. Why should we single out the judiciary for our political discourse if there was no basis behind it? I do not think that. I think it's the reality of the life in which we live. And I tell you that it makes us sad. I don't think it makes John Dramani Mahama happy to be able to criticize, you know, the judiciary in that way. We have a lot of respect for the judges. We brought cases before them. We've brought our petitions before them. And increasingly we've lost hope. We are losing hope.
But you know that, for instance, the recent case, the Attorney General described it as a frivolous and a waste of the court process.
Well, that is something he would say. Why are you accusing John Dramani Mahama of politicizing judicial cases and you're not accusing the Attorney General of politicizing?
So I'm asking your view of what he said.
I'm just telling you, that is what he would say. That is what he would say.
You expect him to say that?
Yes, because obviously that's the type of Attorney General he is.
What do you mean, the type of Attorney General?
You asked the question. You asked me the question.
Well, that was a statement he made.
But that's his prerogative. He can make that statement. Maybe the NPP people would believe him, but some of us do not. And some of us don't appreciate Attorney Generals doing, you know, some of the things he does. Because I'm an elderly person, so I'm being polite. And I have been in the same office as he has been. So I know that sometimes you can be stressed when you are saying things.
We are here because there is an anti-LGBTQ bill in Parliament, and there seems to be a disagreement between what the executive expects the legislature to do and what the legislature also thinks the executive should do. If you were in the current position, which you've been before, Attorney General, how would you have reacted to this? Because it passes through you before it gets to the executive.
It's a difficult call. It's not something I want to comment on very much because I have not spoken to either the Speaker or to even our own party members. I haven't spoken to the parliamentarians about this. But as for me, I support what our MPs are doing. I support what the Speaker is doing because it is the only way forward. We cannot sit down and allow a presidency to say, don't even bring this to me. How?
Wrong, you think?
I think it's wrong. I think it's totally wrong. And I don't think it should have been handled in that way. I think it should have been handled in a different way. And there's always a lot of consultation and discourse between MPs and the Speaker and the other arms of government. I know because I've been there. So many times when we have averted collisions like this. And this is what should have been done this time.
So the president took the wrong decision because the current AG advised him wrongly, indirectly.
You are the one who said that. I haven't said anything like that.
But you're saying that the
because I
executive
told
was
you
wrong.
that I haven't spoken to anybody to really get the
Well, the presidency in that statement said that the AG had advised the president not to do anything.
That's the Attorney General's opinion. I, as Attorney General, I differed several times with what even the Supreme Court itself thought was a legal interpretation of an issue. That's the opinion of the Attorney General. He's clearly wrong, but that's his opinion. He's entitled to it.
So if you were in his position, you would have told the president,
let them
bring it.
I'm not in his position now. I would do so many things different if I were in his position
Like
now.
what?
Not only about this, about everything, okay? I think each Attorney General, as you've seen us, we've done, you know, we each have our own way of doing things, but the interpretation of the law is fundamental. And you know, you don't sit there only as Attorney General and then you spout out the law yourself. You are advised on several fronts. And the way a young Mr. Dame is going about it, it's as if he's the only one who is talking.